Hiya! Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Today I thought I would do a video on how to wake up early. I know especially towards the beginning of the year a lot of people want to get into a better sort of morning routine, get up a bit earlier, get more things done, and I'm quite lucky in that I quite like mornings, but even so I still get those days when my alarm goes off and I'm like, I really don't want to get up, but I honestly appreciate it so much more when I do get up earlier, and I feel like you can get so much more done with your day as well, and you just feel a lot more productive, and knowing that you've already gotten up and got a lot done before the day's really properly started just puts you in the best mood for the rest of the day. So I thought I would share some tips with you on how to wake up a bit earlier, whether you just really aren't a morning person and just really want to be and want to be able to wake up earlier, or whether you wake up relatively early now but not as early as you like. Hopefully you'll find this video useful and you'll be able to use some of these tips to help you get to that kind of time of morning that you want to wake up at. So my first tip, now this may sound kind of obvious, but it just goes along with getting up early, is that you need to go to bed early. If you're not going to get enough sleep, then you're not going to feel the benefits of getting up early. You'll just feel worse and you'll feel lacking in energy as well for the rest of the day. You just won't feel good at all and you're just not going to function properly. So do start to try and get to bed a bit earlier. If you're someone who typically goes to bed quite late, then suddenly trying to get your body to sleep a lot sooner may be a bit of a shock for it, so just gradually do this and just start going to bed a little bit earlier each night, and just put your phone away before bed. It can help to minimize any distractions before going to sleep and help you get to sleep sooner as well, and that way you can actually wake up earlier and still get a decent amount of sleep. I know, like I said, this is quite an obvious point, but honestly I just thought I'd put it there because it is something that is just so obvious and something that some people just might not even work on or think about, and they'll just be working on the other side and trying to wake up a bit earlier. But if you're not going to get enough sleep, like I said, you won't feel the benefits of it. Tip number 2 is to try and wake up with a more kind of natural alarm clock or the natural light in some way. If the sun gets up fairly early where you are, then that could be your natural alarm clock, or if not, then I recently invested in an alarm clock which gradually gets lighter sort of the half an hour before your alarm properly goes off, and this bit sort of stimulates the sunrise. I was about to say sunset, not sunset in the morning, but the sunrise. And I'm someone who's super sensitive to light because I've always sort of slept with either blackout blinds or curtains, and so any kind of light really does help to wake me up, and it's just such a gentler kind of way to gradually wake up, I find, because often when you use your phone for an alarm it just suddenly shocks you. It's a loud sound and you might be in a really deep sleep and you just sort of get shocked into waking up, and that's just not a great way to wake up. Whereas at least with the light you gradually become more and more aware of it, gradually bringing you out of that deep state of sleep. And honestly I've loved it. I've wanted to try these alarm clocks for ages. I did mention it in my last favourites video and it's worked so well for me. I'll leave a link in the description down below. It's the one that I got. I ordered it off of Amazon. It wasn't too expensive either. It was around £40 I want to say. And then also you can choose an alarm sound like birds or some kind of nature or natural sound as well. So then if you're not awake by the time that the alarm does go off, then the alarm sound as well isn't something that's too harsh and it won't suddenly interrupt your sleep. And then tip number 3, sort of relating to that natural light idea, is to open your curtains as soon as you can. Once the sun starts to rise, it stimulates your natural body rhythm to wake up more. The sunset and sunrise really are your body's kind of natural cues as to when to wake up and when to go to sleep. So I know especially in winter when the sun does rise a little bit later, it is sometimes harder to do this, or the sun might not be around when you wake up, but it is gradually now getting that the sun's getting up earlier and earlier at the moment as we head more towards sort of the spring and summertime. So do open your curtains as soon as you get the chance to and just sort of take in the natural light, and it will just really help to naturally wake you up as well and sort of get you ready for the day. Tip number 5 is to have something that you're excited for in the morning. This can be something as simple as having extra time to make a cup of coffee in the morning and make like a real nice sort of frothy barista style coffee if you're really into drinking coffee. Or I'm such a breakfast kind of person, I always try to get creative with breakfast, knowing in mind what I'm going to have for breakfast, so it gets me excited. I want to get out of bed, I'm like, oh, I want to go and make that for breakfast, and it just makes a great start to the day. So find just something, or whether you're into fitness and working out, if you really feel motivated to go out for a run or head to the gym, whatever that may be, or even do an at-home workout, get that in the morning. Again, moving your body first thing helps to wake you up more as well. Even just some gentle stretches or slow moving morning yoga as well can be really great to just get your body moving and wake it up a little bit more, or just sort of establish some kind of routine, and then you kind of know where you're heading once you get out of bed and what's going on. And also just really make the most of that extra time that you've allowed yourself in the morning to just sort of take time for yourself. Like I said, whether that is working out or taking extra time to make an extra nice breakfast as well in the morning. Just find something that makes your mornings that extra little bit special and just really encourages you to get out of bed in the morning. Tip number 6 is for those of you who particularly aren't kind of morning people. Again, this kind of goes with, like I said, going to bed earlier. Ease yourself into waking up earlier. Don't just suddenly shock your body into waking up at 6 AM if you're used to getting up at like 11. Your body's just not gonna know what's going on. It's gonna be really confused. Your body's natural systems, your hunger cues, all your body cues are gonna be out of place and out of order. They'll feel like it's the middle of the night, and it won't help. You'll just feel lacking of energy and tired and have no motivation for that day and just feel horrible and not want to wake up early ever again. So just gradually ease yourself into it. Set your alarm even just 5-10 minutes sooner each day, and that way you really won't notice any kind of difference, because those extra 5-10 minutes really don't make that much of a difference to your day. Or even every few days, just bring your alarm forward slightly, and that way you can gradually work your way to your goal. I know always it's hard to sort of take the time to work slowly towards your goals, but honestly, working slowly towards a goal, this kind of comes across for all goals really, it's going to be so much more beneficial in the long term. You're much more likely to stick to it and build up a good habit of it, rather than trying to rush to it and get it done as soon as possible. You're not gonna achieve that goal as well, and it's a lot less maintainable. So definitely just take some time and ease yourself into it. Don't suddenly just shock your body into waking up at a ridiculous hour compared to what you're used to. And my final tip is to keep your phone away from your bed. Get an actual alarm clock or use the sun like I said. Don't have your phone as your alarm clock or charging near you, because that means you wake up, the first thing you do, you're going to look at your phone screen, especially if your phone's right next to your bed. You're then probably likely to stay in bed for longer, start scrolling through social media, and you're just going to end up sort of wasting that extra time that you've allowed yourself in the morning by just staying in bed. So definitely have your phone charging either on the opposite side of the room, or if you don't have an alarm clock and you do need to use your phone as your alarm, then definitely use this tip where you have it on the other side of the room, because then you have to physically get out of bed to go and turn it off. So that way it makes it more likely that you'll stay out of bed rather than going straight into bed. And also, if you've got that thing that you're excited for to get out for, then you're more likely to stay out now that you're out of bed. If not, if you don't have to use your phone for an alarm and you do have an alarm clock or some other way of waking up, then charge your phone in a separate room or well away from you, so that's not the first thing you go to in the morning. Also, just straight up looking at that blue light, that screen, isn't going to be the best thing for you. First thing in the morning when your body's just trying to wake up, natural light is definitely the best way to go. So try to avoid looking at your phone as much as you can first thing in the morning, and just allow yourself to fully wake up, get some breakfast, do some stretches, do a bit of a workout, whatever it is that you want to do before getting involved in scrolling through social media for hours and hours, and actually just appreciate that extra time that you have in the morning. Also, now on iPhones, I don't know if it's for Android or other phones as well, but I find that the screen time option is a great one to go for, as now you can limit your screen time to certain hours, so you can turn it off between certain hours, and that way you don't get notifications. So you look at your phone screen, there aren't any notifications there. If you try to access your apps, it will come up with the screen time block on it, which you can unblock, but it does make you think twice, and you do sort of think, do I really need to look at this right now? And you do sort of have a little think about it before actually going into looking at your apps, instead of just heading straight onto Instagram and scrolling without thinking about it. And also, I found that doing this as well before bed, I have it now so that it goes off at 9 o'clock, so then I have at least a good hour or so where my phone isn't going, and I found that a lot more relaxing, and it helps me get to bed sooner. I'm normally in bed around 10, half 10, and not having your phone within that sort of hour or so before bed helps you to just sort of feel more sleepy and spend some time away from the screen as well, it can really help just set your body into that sleepy state instead of this bright light shining into your eyes, and the blue light as well keeps you awake. So having that as sort of a limit will help you get to bed earlier, meaning you can wake up earlier, and then also meaning that you're not just going to be straight on your phone as soon as you wake up. So those were all of my tips for how to wake up earlier. I really do hope that you found this video useful. Let me know if you try out any of these tips or if you put any of them into practice, and also if you have any tips of your own or things you do to wake up early. If you already do so, let me know down below in the comments. I would love to know. Also, be sure to smash a big thumbs up on this video if you did enjoy it, and also please do click on that little red subscribe button down below if you're new to my channel. I'd love to at some point this year potentially reach 1k. I think we can do it, so let's see if that happens. But if you are new to my channel and you liked this video and you want to be able to see more, then definitely click on that subscribe button, as well as tapping on that notifications bell so that you're notified every time I upload, which is every Wednesday and Sunday at 4 PM UK time. And I will be sure to see you very soon with a brand new video. Bye!